math, we are learning how to find the area of plane figures. Area is the measurement of the inside of that shape, and when we measure area, we measure in square units. And those square units could be centimeters, they could be meters, they could be feet, depending on the size of your square that would fit in this shape or a shape. Perimeter is the measurement of the outside of a shape, but today we're going to focus on area. And we're going to use rectangles to help us figure out the area of irregular shapes. So first of all, I know that a rectangle is a quadrilateral. It's a shape that has 4 sides, and it has 2 pairs of equal sides. Knowing this can help you find the area. And I can find the area by multiplying the length by the width of a rectangle. So if I look at this rectangle right here, I automatically know what the sides equal that are missing. So this side is missing right here, and the dimension of this side is missing. If this side of the rectangle equals 2, I know that this side will equal 2. And then if this side equals 6, this side will equal 6. So if I want to figure out the area of this rectangle, I can then multiply 2 times 6. I multiply the length by the width, right? I could write it, or the width by the length. It doesn't matter. 2 times 6 equals 12. Now, it is square. It would be square units. Units, just because I don't have the measurement unit right here. But if I multiply the length times the width, I could think of it as the fact that if I had squares that would fit in here, I could fit a square here. That's 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 times. That would fit into this rectangle perfectly. And so the area, or the measurement of the inside of my shape, is 12 square units. I can break up an irregular shape into rectangles to figure out its area. So even if I don't have all of the sides of a rectangle, I can figure it out, knowing that the sides that are parallel to each other are going to be equal to one another. So if I look at this irregular shape, I can see rectangles. I'm going to put a line right there to make a rectangle. So my first rectangle that I have, you can see it's right here. And then I have a second rectangle right here. All right, and now I'm going to use the numbers for the sides to figure out my unknown sides. So I know that this side is 2 and this side is 8. So if this side is 2, and I know what the parallel side right here is also going to be 2. And then I know this whole side equals 8. The whole side equals 8. But then I'm also told right here that this part, this section of my rectangle right here, from there to there, that equals 5. Well, I know that if my whole side equals 8, this is going to equal 3, because 3 plus my 5 equals the whole side of 8. Now, if this is a rectangle, I can also look here. If this side is 3, this side is going to be 3. If this side is 3 here, this will be 3. Now that looks, a square is a rectangle. A figure that has all sides that are equal is actually a square, and squares are rectangles. Now, if I look here, so if I have this section 3 and this section, this line segment is 2, I know that 2 plus 3 equals the whole side of 5. Now I need to figure out the area of my rectangles. So remember, I can multiply my width times my length, right? I can multiply this side. I have 2 times 8, which equals 16 square units. That's the area of this rectangle right here. The area of this rectangle, or the measurement of the inside of this shape, is 16 square units. Now I'm going to look at this rectangle. I have 3 times this side, which is 3, which equals 9 square units. Right? But now I'm not done. I want to figure out the whole area, the area of the entire shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 16 square units, and I'm going to add that to the area of that rectangle. 16 plus 9. 16 plus 9 equals, let's say, what do I have? 12, 13, 14, 25 square units. SQ stands for square units, right there. So 25 square units is the area of the whole shape. All right, now I'm going to look at another problem right here. I can break up an irregular shape into rectangles to figure out its area. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it into rectangles. Let's see, I'll put a line right there. There's one rectangle that's here. And then I'm going to put another line right there, and now I have 3 rectangles. Okay, so if I look at the shape, I'm going to look at my first rectangle that I made. I know that this side equals 2. Then this side will equal 2. And if this side equals 5, then I know that the whole side will equal 5. So the whole thing, I'm going to put it inside right here because I know that that equals 5. But I know I have 2 other parts right there of my rectangle. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my rectangle below. If I have, and let's look at this rectangle. I want to fill in the missing sides. So if I look at this whole length right here, that equals 2. 10, sorry, 10. And then I look at this part, that equals 8. Well, if I look at my whole side right there, I know 8 plus 2 will equal 10. So this part must equal 2. So this part is going to equal 2 right there as well. Okay, now I want to look at this. The rest of my rectangle. If this side equals 2, then this side will equal 2, right there. And if this part of this line segment equals 2, and this part equals 2, I know that equals 4. If my whole line right here equals 9, I know that the 2 plus the 2 will equal 4. Then this part must equal 5. Right? Because 4 plus 5 equals the whole 9. So this rectangle, I have a 5, 2, this part is 2, and then this part is going to equal 5 as well. So now I have all of my parts, and so I'm going to go back and I'm going to carefully calculate the area of each of these rectangles. So I'm going to start with my top one. I know that 2 times 5, that's this side times this side, equals 10. That's 10 square units. And then I'm going to look at this part right here, this little rectangle. I know that this part equals 2, and then this side equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10, 10 square units. And then I'm going to look at my bottom rectangle. If I have a side of 2, and then this is the hard part. Do not think of it, do not multiply just by the 8, because that's not the whole side. We know that this whole side right here, this rectangle starts here and the line goes all the way there. It's actually 2 plus the 8, right? Plus the 8, which equals 10. So I have to multiply 2 times 10, which equals 20 square units. Now I'm not done. What I have to do is I want the whole area of the entire shape. So I'm going to add my areas together. So this rectangle, so my number sentence would be 10 plus 10, right? Here's my 10, here's my 10, and then there's my 20. All right, I know 10 and 10, that's 20, plus my 20 equals 40. And I must make sure if I'm calculating area that I write square units, because we're trying to figure out how many square units would fit inside to show the measurement of the inside of the shape. So my area equals 40 square units. Okay, we're going to continue to break up irregular shapes using what we know about rectangles to find the area of individual rectangles. Then we're going to add those together to figure out the whole measurement of the inside of the shape.